Welcome to the Houndsman XP Podcast. I am your host, Chris Powell. We're going to mix things up a little bit this week, and I'm not running an all mixed up show. That's Seth and Chad's bag. They're doing a great job. If you haven't checked that out, they're doing some crazy stuff, man. Seth is just, and Chad both are just a lot of fun to listen to. The excitement they bring, you can tell that they really enjoy what they're doing, and that's hunting. But on this show, we're going to do things just a little bit different. Hopefully, I hear back from Brayden Ware from GoWild, and we'll bring him in on the podcast. And GoWild is absolutely the premier spot. If you're a hunter, you gotta check out GoWild. Go to timetogowwild.com and download that app and start getting involved in that community. It's amazing. It's amazing. Everything that you post there is appreciated by other hunters. There aren't any Karens in there telling you that, you shouldn't be doing that or what you're doing is unethical. You're talking to other hunters. You're connecting with other hunters. So I'm waiting to hear back from Brayden because they just launched a bunch of cool stuff over there for you, for us houndsmen. I guarantee you, the owners of the other social media platforms are not going to do anything special for you except censor your posts. So that's not happening over at GoWild. They want you there, and they're gonna make you feel welcome. But on this episode of the Houndsman XP Podcast, we're going to do a couple things. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to spend some time just one-on-one with you, talking to you about what's going on at Houndsman XP, and we've got a drawing that we've got to do. We're going to do that in this podcast. I'm kind of trying to lay out all the things that I want to talk about. We're going to talk about the different shows that we're doing and also talk to you about why we're producing those shows and the value that they have for you. I don't care if you're chasing field mice with a dachshund. If that's your deal, go for it. My little Yog Terrier loves to. This is the craziest little dog I've ever seen. If you don't take him hunting, he will find something to hunt. He hunts mice in the barn. At night, I've got video of this. He will bounce through the yard and hunt night crawlers. The carpenter bees just came out, and he's wearing those out on the porch. I'm finding them dead on the porch, and I know that he's catching them. I've watched him do that. But my point is, I don't care what you do with a dog. If you're hunting with it, you need to know things like vet care, best breeding practices, the effects of genetics, training, what other houndsmen are doing. And most importantly, you got to know who's out there trying to stop you from exercising that freedom to hunt with that dog. And we're going to touch on all of that stuff while we're waiting to hear back from Brayden here. So let's just dive into it. I think the first thing that we're going to do is take care of this drawing. A couple weeks ago, I put in the podcast, I challenged everybody. I said, okay, we're going to do a little giveaway, and I challenge you to send me an email with the two things that are in our online store at houndsmanxp.com. And I got, let me see how many total I got responses. I probably got 125 responses on that. And I said that if you could name those two things, I'd put you in a giveaway and we'd send you a cool prize package, and it will be cool. So let's go ahead and take care of that drawing right now. Not sure how I want to do this. I've got all the names out here. I've got them over here. I don't have a dog food bowl of destiny like Seth for the Patron drawings on his lives, but I do have a container here, and I'm going to mix those up. And the winner is Melissa Nash. Melissa, you won the drawing for naming the two things that were in our online store. So, yeah, Melissa's been a long time listener and supporter of Houndsman XP. She's just been a great person. I run into them at Autumn Oaks every year. They've brought me a thing like ramp salsa, and I've taken them things like hats and Houndsman XP gear, but they're always posting cool stuff. They just won the world show with their treeing feist Joker. So congratulations on that, Melissa. You've got a pretty good run of luck going here. You win the world championship with Joker, and now you get selected for the winner of this drawing on our podcast. So cool stuff. Melissa and Kenny both have been on the podcast before. It was several episodes ago, but you can find them and get to know them. And that's the cool thing about producing the podcast is my ability to introduce the whole hound hunting community to other people. You know, you can make Facebook posts or whatever, but when you sit down and you talk to somebody and you hear their story and then you feel like you actually get to know them. You find things that you've got in common, things that they've experienced. It's like, yeah, I did that too, you know, or I went through that whole situation as well. So check out Kenny and Melissa Nash's episode on the Houndsman XP podcast. All right, what else did I say we were going to talk about today? We've got a whole list of things. I want to talk to you about the Houndsman XP team. And I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but I'm going to say it again anyway. I get invited to go around different places and do speaking engagements. I just got back from the Michigan Bear Hunters Association last month. I was in Cody, Wyoming at the American Bear Foundation. I spoke there at that fundraiser banquet. And I always add this to my talks. I am so proud of the team that we've got at Houndsman XP. You just can't find another podcast team anywhere in any genre that is as diverse as ours. As far as our knowledge and our expertise, we all bring something to the table, and just qualifications. You know, let's just start at the top. Seth Hall is a wildlife biologist. He's a harebrained jackrabbit running junkie. He's honestly, Seth is the longest team member. He's got seniority on team members, and he brings a lot of energy. Anybody that gets an opportunity to be around Seth never has a bad time. I mean, they have a good time. They value that friendship, and they see what he's really made of. He just got back from a hog hunt in East Texas. He dropped that podcast a couple weeks ago on the All Mixed Up and breaks down the apocalypse, as he calls it. And so Seth is a professional wildlife biologist, and he brings so much value to the conversation when we're talking about controversial issues or wildlife management issues or conservation issues. He's dedicated his whole life to that. And then we've got Chad Reynolds. I can't disclose where Chad's at. He's in southern Utah, and that's as close as I can get you. Chad is a professional animal trainer, so this guy knows training in and out, inside and out. And I don't care if it's a horse or if it's an iguana or if it's your hound. He knows how to get the most out of that animal at every layer. And he's super energetic. He originally appeared on the Houndsman XP podcast as a guest. I wanted to find somebody that hunted with Drothars, and Chad Reynolds' name just kept popping up. And as soon as I interviewed him, it wasn't 10 minutes into the interview probably, and I thought, man, this guy would be an asset to the Houndsman XP team. And he has been. So social media engagement through the roof. You can follow him on Instagram and Facebook. Trying to get him to post more stuff over on GoWild. That's a hint to you, Chad. I'm calling you out right here on the podcast. You need to be posting more stuff on GoWild, and get over there and check that out too. So, and then we've got Heath. Heath is a profession. He's a police officer. He is a master trainer. He's got 16 dogs in his training group over there. He's been all over the country attending training seminars and trained dogs for Department of Homeland Security. and certifying dogs and things that are going overseas to serve our military personnel and State Department personnel around the country or around the world. That's a pretty important job. And part of that information or that knowledge, that wisdom that he's gained are things about dog behavior, the way dogs learn, the way their nose works, how they react to certain stimulations, selection. Selection is huge. And he spends a lot of time talking about selection and the importance of selection. So if you're not checking out the Journey on Wednesdays, I'm telling you, Heath Hyatt is bringing you world-renowned experts in their field. You talk about subject matter experts, Heath is bringing them to his show. And all of that stuff is transferable directly to your hound. I was a canine handler. When I was a conservation officer, I was also a canine handler. And I can tell you that after going through that training, the level of hounds that I was training, the performance, the effectiveness, that it was all elevated because of that information that I gained as a student. And Heath is the guy that trains guys like me on that. When they come in and they're going to be canine handlers, Heath is the guy that's training them. So I know Heath has vastly improved his game as a houndsman due to his training, and you can too. So I would highly recommend you check that out. Then we've got Bryce Matthews, who just dropped a new show called Deep and Lonely. Bryce is super energetic. He also is been very successful in his career as a competition coon hunter. He placed 7th in the World Championship, UKC World Championship last year. He got to the quarterfinals of the most recent Super Stakes. He won the registered division at the UKC Winter Classic. So he's in it. He's in it to win it for sure. He's also the president of the Hoosier Tree Dog Alliance. And so he's in touch with a lot of the issues that I know that you care about. So check out Bryce, Deep and Lonely. It only drops one time a month. He's a busy guy. Poor guy's got 7 kids, I think. And so you can only imagine how busy he is. And then we got the one and only Josh Michaelis that drops the Truth episodes every other week on Fridays. So we've got the top tier content for coon hunting coming at you at least 3 times a month. And then I usually cover that as well. So I can't think of a better lineup of people that I could have on the Houndsman XP team. And so, hey, Brayden Ware just messaged me back, and he's going to be able to make it. I'm going to set this up a little bit for you. We're going to talk about some of the new features that GoWild just launched on their platform, their social media platform, and Brayden's going to break it all down for us. It's so new that I don't know, so I'm going to ask him real live questions as I'm doing stuff on the app so that you have a better understanding. But let's check it out and see what Brayden's got going on here. Got Brayden Ware. What's going on, Brayden?
Not a whole lot, man.
What hat you rocking? What is that?
That's
an Okayest Hunter hat?
No, that's the Howler Bros. So they're a Texas-based hat company, and they make like fishing hats and things like that. They're like performance material, so I like wearing them when I'm getting sweaty.
You're wearing that grandpa style too.
Yeah, that's what everybody calls it. I'm a fan of the rope. I rock a lot of rope hats.
We just ordered hats, and my daughter was like, "Those are coming back in style. You need to have some of those in the store." So yeah. I told her we needed to unload some of the stuff we've got.
Yeah, no, sure. That's an ongoing discussion at GoWild too. We're always lobbying for whatever our like personal taste hat is. Me and Jacob got a rope hat in this past November for the whitetail buck hat of the fall. So we were pretty pumped about getting a rope hat with GoWild on it.
Yeah, no doubt. So I thought we'd just talk about some of the stuff that's going on over there at GoWild. And I just want to tell you guys, thanks on this podcast. I want to thank you guys for all your support for Houndsman XP. It's been a real pleasure working with you guys. But you guys are doing some cool stuff. And if anybody's not using GoWild, I have no idea why you're not. I guarantee you that you're not going to find any other community that's going to be more proactive. And every time you go there, you're hanging out with cool people,
Yeah,
people that
that's the idea.
hunt and fish and do outdoor stuff.
Yeah, that's the idea, man. Everybody's kind of starting off from the same page and basic understanding of the lifestyle and everything. So yeah, definitely appreciate you guys and your partnership too. And it's really mostly because of you guys that we've leaned into the Houndsman audience. Like a lot of us growing up weren't dog guys. Like we didn't know much about this, and you've introduced us to it personally. And now we have a partnership where we're working on stuff, and you guys have just driven tons of Houndsman folks to the Go Wild community. And it's been really cool to see everything kind of come together like that. And we're stoked to be a small part in supporting that pursuit. And that's what we're trying to do with the next things we're rolling out here at Go Wild. To double down on the Houndsman crowd. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, when we started this whole conversation, I didn't have any idea where it could go, but I knew that there was an opportunity there. And I told Brad one time, I told him, I said, when I first started using Go Wild and talking to you guys and stuff like that, I had this dream of what could be, where hunters could actually come together. I knew you guys weren't houndsmen. I knew you didn't have any houndsmen on your staff, so I didn't know how well we'd be embraced. But Go Wild is such a cool place that nobody cares. No, I've never seen a post on Go Wild that had a comment on it. I know you guys don't tolerate buck shaming, but the cool thing is, if I post on another social media platform, I can depend on some Karen coming on and saying, "I can't believe you do that," But
Yeah.
I can post on Go Wild, and even other deer hunters are just like, "Cool, man, good deal, keep after it." I don't know how you guys do it.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, I think it's like I said, just kind of everybody starting out from that same basic understanding of the lifestyle and of conservation and understanding the passion for hunting of all kinds. And I think we were just having a conversation the other day on our Uncensored podcast, talking about like legislation and lobbying and laws and all that type of stuff. And the general consensus was like, man, we got to watch out for every pursuit, because you never know when they're going to come for yours. And man, Houndsman seems to be the one that they're coming after first. And so just being able to learn more about your all's plight and rally around you guys and build a place for you guys to come and talk about these things, share your experiences, all that stuff. It's really important to us, even though we may not be primarily houndsmen. It matters, and we care about what you guys have going on too. So we're pumped to be a part of it.
When I said it's kind of like dreaming about what could be, bringing all the hunting community together under one umbrella and being united. And that's what you get at Go Wild. It's just really cool to be able to see that and be a part of it. And it is. I mean, you look at the fight that we're in every day, and a lot of people sit back, if you're not a houndsman and you're like, well, deer hunting's the biggest thing going and we'll be okay. But if you look at what's going on that directly affects us, it will affect you, because what the people are doing right now, what the anti-hunting crowd's doing right now, is they're coming after the methods that we're using and some of the equipment that we're using. So, for us, it's like Garmin's and being restrictive on how you house your dog and different stuff like that. And once they get through us, then they're going to come and say, "Oh, well, Mr. Deer Hunter, you shouldn't be using a trail camera. You shouldn't be using a scope on a rifle. You know, that's the methodology. The one we dropped last week on wolves, man, if deer hunters and elk hunters haven't listened to that, they need to, because there's no better example of how an issue has been weaponized. And Justin Webb laid it out. You know, they know they can't come after the hunting directly head on. So what they do is, it's like, let's push some wolves in there. And now when elk hunters say, well, I can't find any elk to hunt, it's like they're sitting back and going, so exactly, that was our whole plan all the time. That's Sun Tzu level type planning right there. And it
Well, hard
is.
war.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's that the trail camera example is perfect. That literally just happened. I don't know if you were throwing it out because you just heard about it, but that just happened in, I want to say it was Nebraska. Is that right?
Yeah. Arizona went through it a couple of years ago.
Yeah. They're constantly chipping away, and you know, this, like I said, that's the big thing that we're a fan of and try to foster in the community, is that, you know, we're all hunters, we're all anglers, we're all outdoor enthusiasts. We all need to watch out for each other. And you know, learning about the Houndsmen and everything through you guys has been enlightening. And you know, you've taken some of our staff out on trips and things like that, and getting us, you know, hands on to really understand what's going on. So it's been an awesome partnership, and we're excited for the next step and what that looks like for GoWild specifically.
Man, I got to get you out legging a hog and tying a hog for sure.
No.
I tried to pick you up on the way by last time, and you were just too busy.
I know. Yeah. Unfortunately, as much as Brad lets me sneak away to do stuff, I just get so busy, man. It's crazy this time of year, and what we're working on specifically right now. I'd love to step away and go, but I think I'd be pushing my luck, and I definitely step away quite a bit. So,
well, save some time, because I'm telling you, if you go in and you grab a hold of a 250-pound hog, and you won't forget it.
No, I got to do it. We're gonna make it happen. We'll get something on the books, even if I got to use vacation time. I'll make it happen for sure.
Don't use vacation time. Brad needs to send you down there and pay the bill.
Yeah, right. I'll let you tell him that.
You know he's going to hear it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about. I got an exciting text from Brad last night, and he linked up some different stuff, some happenings going on the GoWild app. And again, go to timetogowwild.com. Just go ahead and download the app now. It's different than Facebook. You're going to be frustrated at first because it's like this operates different than Facebook. But once you get used to it, you'll see that it's a lot cooler, and it operates a lot better. And there's no Karens. That's a really cool. I just pretty much stopped posting any of my direct hunting content over on anything else. It all goes on GoWild. So, but yeah, let's go to timetogowwild.com, download the app so you know what we're talking about. If you're already on GoWild, there's some important stuff that you need to know about logging trophies and a new pursuit that was put up there, and we're going to break that all down in this podcast. So yeah, man, give us a backstory on some of that.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm going to just be the guy that, because I'm just now learning it too. So I'm going to be looking at the app and asking you some questions while we're going through this.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll back up and explain a little bit just of what pursuits are. On the whole, it's something that we felt as GoWild, as a different social media company from these other platforms, that we can provide that nobody else can. And so we've really leaned into what that is. And so we started with whitetail hunting, bass fishing, and turkey hunting. And what we're going to talk about today is the fourth addition to that, which is the Houndsman pursuit. But really what these places are a place where we're putting all of the content that we work with writers all over the country to write different types of articles addressing different types of issues, teaching, educating, sharing stories, all kinds of things like that. Those are going to be at the top when you get to the pursuit page, where you can just see what's recently been written and published about that specific topic. So,
all right, I got to slow you down a little bit. I need to. So I'm looking at the app, and I'll admit right now that I have not spent time on the pursuits and probably didn't even recognize that was a valuable part of it. So, go ahead and tell me. I just opened the app. Where do I find the pursuit for Houndsman in the app?
So you're going to navigate to where you find notifications in your direct messages and all that in that home tray.
And the rewards. That's the important part too.
Yeah, right next to the rewards.
Right.
So you scroll down past that, scroll down past the announcements, and you're going to see the whitetail, the bass fishing, and the turkey. And you scroll to the right, and there's the Houndsman. It's a cool green color banner around it. So that's how you get to it. On the website, it's actually at the very top of the homepage. You'll see all of these pursuits right there. If you go to timetogowwild.com and land on the homepage. So you can navigate to it through the app, or you can just go to the website and check it out. But yeah, like I was saying, you got the stories at the very top. That's what we call our articles, covering all kinds of different things. Go ahead.
I want to walk through it. So this little this is like for guys like me that are technologically challenged. When I open the app, it comes up with my name, my profile picture. There's a little white banner down there. When you scroll up on that, you've got community direct messages, and you drop down past announcements, and then in black letters it says pursuits. And then I click on pursuits, right? I just go ahead and click on that to get in there.
Yep.
All right. So I opened it up, and now I've got some articles in there, like 3 tips for picking your first coonhound, science of scent, traveling with your gun dog. There's you got Brad's article in there about him and Derek going, and they look like they're whipped out right there in that picture, by the way.
Because they were.
Yeah. So, all right. So each one of those is an article that I can actually go ahead and read at that point.
Yeah. You just click in, you can read those. And once you're done, you just click the back arrow, and it drops you right back to where you were on the pursuit page.
Yeah, but there's if you keep going down in the pursuits, like I can go in there and submit a question for the community.
Yeah. So that's the second thing on there that's really cool that other apps and platforms just can't do. So because we're a social media platform, and people can mark their posts as a question while they're creating the post, we capture that data and say, oh, this is a question. And those questions that we feel or the system notices need answers or gets a lot of engagement get surfaced to the top, and then those get brought here to the pursuit page. So you can scroll through some of those there that have already been added. The pursuit page hasn't been live for very long, so it's cool to see that this is already starting to fill up. And you can click, if you're logged in, you can click right into those and read through the full question, all the answers that are already there. And a lot of times you'll find that, like, oh, there's a little bit of nuance that's left out here, or, oh, this has been my experience, and really offer, to lend a hand to somebody. Or maybe you have a similar question and you can read through and say, oh, okay, cool, and get your answer right there.
Yeah. So just to give you an example, Brandon Taylor from Tennessee asked, what's y'all's experience with getting your female bred through AI? And then people started weighing in on that and giving them their opinions on it. Shorty Gorham weighed in, and Houndsman XP team member right there weighed in first thing. Besides the Squatch bot, who the heck is the Squatch bot?
That's a whole different subject there. No,
no doubt.
He's cool, man. He's a system that we have trained up, really from a baby little AI to something that's actually, he started out clunky and silly and said dumb stuff. He disagreed with hunting out of the gate. He'd make comments about, hunting's unethical and all this silly stuff. We're like, whoa, what did we just build? But now he's this really cool system that looks at all the content in the platform, and learns from it. So as people are asking questions and getting answers, he's taking note of all that. And he's an AI, so he's learning and getting smarter, and we're training him not only on our social data, but also on the products on our website. So he's learning about all this stuff. So if you ask him a question, about a specific piece of gear or looking for gear recommendations and things, he can actually take that in and then give you links and help you find what you're looking for, answer questions, connect you to resources. He's kind of like the ultimate community member, providing.
How many points does he have?
He doesn't get points.
That's scary. I'm going to tell you right now, the Squatch Bot scares me worse than, even more than the real like Sasquatch. Because this is his answer to experience with AI. Breeding female animals through artificial insemination is a common practice in the livestock industry. I mean, this is a detailed answer from artificial intelligence. That's scary crap, Brandon. You guys.
Yeah, it's a little scary on the face, but really the way he works is he's just looking at the posts and knowledge from the community and kind of elaborating on that a little bit. There's really, he doesn't have the ability to do anything crazy other than give stupid answers or great answers or whatever. So
come up with a question to see what kind of, just to see what kind. Yeah, I'm gonna lay one out there. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yeah, you should challenge him, see what he knows. But cool thing about him too is if you don't want to throw a question out to the community as a whole, you can actually direct message him and have a message thread just in private with him. And some of those questions that folks maybe are embarrassed to ask in public or whatever, feel like they, whatever it is, you can ask him in private and he can give you his best answers there as well.
So. All right. So we got through the question part. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything here. You've also got a bunch of gear listed under there. All the gear's listed under there.
Yeah, that's the idea. So we looked at our whole store and went through and said, what gear categories apply to the Houndsman specifically. And that's been something that you've been gracious enough to help us with of, here's what the real houndsmen are using. Here's what I recommend. Go partner with these companies. And, we've done that to the best of our ability and we're going to keep doing that. So we want to build out the Houndsman gear, as much as we possibly can.
Yeah.
So that's what you're going to find there. You can click right into any one of these categories and scroll through and look at all the different gear within them and, use those rewards that you're getting just for using the platform. So just a way to kind of get the gear you need that you might be shopping for right there on the page. So you don't have to go through the whole website and look for the things that apply to you. They should be right there. Yeah, and if they're not, you just let us know and we'll try to make it happen.
Yeah. When I open the dog gear page up, I'm seeing the first thing, a big banner there for Occasion Light, which, this is like blockchain type stuff, when we start building all these interlinking assets for houndsmen, us working with you guys confirm with us, we tell you, hey, this is good. That's probably not going to work. But dogs are treats in there. You can get a tie out, you can get the leads, you can get the dogs are hydrated right from GoWild. Cool stuff, man.
Yeah, thanks. Awesome. Yeah, that, like you said, we're trying to do that in collaboration with you and other houndsmen, to make sure that we're providing, what y'all actually need out there. So more to come on that for sure. We've got some good partnerships lined up and some more gear launching here soon. So hopefully continue to see that build out and have a good place to use your rewards and discounts and stuff like that on stuff you actually want and need.
One thing I want to bring up, because I think some people are missing the boat on this a little bit. I'll see a lot of posts in there about houndsmen and houndsmen out doing things. But I think what they don't realize is, or what they're missing is when you make that post and you make it a trophy post, then it gets you more reward points. than just a standard
Yeah.
post. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's like Shorty Gorm out there. He made a post a couple weeks ago about catching this. I mean, it was a really nice Tom lion, and he just put it as a post. He didn't use it as a trophy. Whereas if he'd used that thing for a trophy, he would have got 300 and some reward points
Yeah.
just for
Yeah.
that one post. If he just makes it a post, you get what, maybe 35 to 40, some,
Mhm.
you know, compared to 300, there's a big difference.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's the point, man. Trying to get folks to, you know, engage with the trophy side of things and rewarding them for that, because it gives the community more information about, you know, what you were just doing. So when someone clicks on your trophy, they can see, you know, roughly where you were. We don't, you know, spot burn or anything like that. It's not gonna. You don't have to do it. And also, if you do it, it's just gonna use the zip code or not the zip code, the state and area and that kind of thing.
Right.
But you know, the length of the animal, the weight of the animal, the sex of the animal, you know, the method of take, all that type of stuff is included there. And really, for me personally, the way I use it, you know, when you're talking to somebody new or, you know, your buddy or whatever, and you're like, hey, you know, I was on this trip, I did this crazy thing, check this out. You pull your phone out and you start to scroll through all your photos trying to get back to the thing you were doing.
Yeah.
I use my trophy section on my GoWild profile, so I can just quickly swipe through and boom, there it is, pull it up, show them. It's got all the information there, all my gear tag, all that stuff. So yeah, it's a cool feature, and you get rewarded for using it. Free stickers, free gear, discounts, all kinds of stuff. So definitely worth that
Let's,
effort. And while we're on the topic there, we recently added with hounds as an option for method of take. So we kind of ran into, you know, in working with you guys, it's like, yeah, you know, it's cool that we can log our raccoon trophies, but we want to be able to say, hey, we're using hounds to do this and get rewarded specifically for doing that, for, you know, the level of difficulty that comes with that and all that stuff. So that is something that launched along with the Houndsman Pursuit, where you can now indicate that you are using hounds in the take of whatever trophy you would like to log.
yeah. So let's run through posting a trophy real quick, just to make sure that everybody gets the idea. So when you are on your home screen there and you want to make a post, you just click the post. I'm gonna talk through this and you tell me when I screwed up. So now it pulls up a page. It opens up a page and it says post trophy or connect at the top. So just press on trophy. The first thing that pops up is select the species. And what the heck is an African pompano?
It's a jack. The people fish for those. So, yeah, those are like, I think it's a saltwater fish.
Yeah. So I mean, if you can think of it, it's probably in this list. And then one of the things that when we first started this, you guys made a change early on, because I think I sent you a list of all the animals. It was in, and I was like, hey, you can catch all these, you can hunt all these things with hounds. And one of the things that we do is tree and free. We do that a lot. And that was added right away. But you guys even took it a step farther. And now I'm just going to pick one. I'm going to see if I can use a feral goat, because you can chase feral goats with hounds. All right, let's see. Select method. Let's just say it's let's make it. There's no traditional. Oh yeah, here's recurve bow, but it's not a long bow. We still got some work to do here, Brayden.
Okay, all right. We'll get that added.
I'm gonna take it with a muzzleloader. The weight. Let's see what the weight is. Next. Oh, that dude was 300 pounds for sure. Today's date. I did all this. Body length. I'm not sure. Body land type. Let's say it was public. I'm just running through this real quick. I'm not sure. Distance, horn spread. Not sure. Horn spread. Not sure. Man, this is detailed. You're asking for horn base circumference.
Yeah. We got a data scientist on staff. He's the president of the company, and so he nerds out on all that.
And I can choose as I scroll through here.
Yep.
I did this in let's say, is it international?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know.
Stumping us here, man.
I'm gonna try it.
All right.
Melbourne, because I did it today and I flew back just so I could talk to you on this podcast.
Oh, wow. I'm honored.
Yeah. Oh, no, it took me to Melbourne, Kentucky.
That's right. It always comes back home, baby. Always back to Kentucky.
And the last option, pursued with hounds. Yes or no? Yes. You guys nailed it. That's how you do it.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that is cool. Let me see here. I got to get out of here because I don't want to post that. Dan will be, somebody on your IT team will be flagging me, being like, he's posting baloney, because you guys do ride herd over that.
Yeah, for sure. We pay close attention to that kind of thing. We have systems in place to notify us of fraudulent activity. We have a lot of times it's people just thinking we're not paying attention. They're just testing to see if we're paying attention and stuff like that, and they find out we are. We pay close attention to that, and a lot of times it's just a simple discussion of like, hey, did you really do this? Yeah. And a lot of times people are like, no, I didn't. It's like, okay, right. let's take that down.
Yeah. So like when I log time for listening to podcasts, when I may listen to 4 or 5 podcasts on a road trip, and then when I get where I'm going, I'll start logging my time. And I've been sitting there thinking, I'm logging these things like 5 minutes apart, but I'm accounting for 10 hours here. Am I going to get that nasty gram from GoWild?
No, definitely not. No, we do the same thing, man. We all hunt and fish and listen to podcasts about it all the time too. So in that specific example, we know how that goes, and people do that all the time. So that's not fraudulent behavior at all.
I got you. What else cool is happening over there that you can talk about? It's like if you're developing artificial intelligence, or we planning you guys planning an invasion of Indiana, or you live in Indiana, you'd be divided loyalties there.
That's right. No, definitely not doing that. There's a little bit more on the pursuit pages as you get down under the gear categories there that I can cover. We were just talking about.
Let me get back in there.
Yeah, we were just talking about trophies. So that's the next section right underneath all that gear. Is you can go through all the trophies that people have used hounds to pursue. You can see, how many points they were rewarded for each, all the pictures and descriptions. You can click in and go through all the details of that specific hunt, all the gear they were using, all that type of stuff. So that's pretty neat. You can go under there, and we actually have broken out specific products out of all those categories that are going to come down into that section there. You can just scroll for a very long time looking at all kinds of gear, and that's kind of where things wrap up on the pursuit page down there at the bottom. So
I didn't see it. I'm learning stuff about GoWild right now. So
it just launched, so you're good.
I see what am I looking at here? Oh, I got all the way out of the pursuit page.
Yeah.
Cool. So I can go in there and I can actually look at different trophies that are being posted by individuals. I think you guys should do a complete audit on Heath. Yeah, he needs a complete audit. And make sure that he's not like regurgitating and reusing photos and stuff. He's got way too many points.
That's right. I spent a couple days with him up in Pennsylvania, and I can assure you he's a sketchy individual. We have a special flag on his account. We're watching him close for sure.
He can't owl hoot either.
Oh no, he can't.
No, he's a terrible owl hooter. Terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted. I'll be sure to bring that up next time I talk to him.
Yeah. He thinks he's good though. That's the thing. He thinks he's good. So make sure you try to get a demo from him, and then hand him like an owl hooter call from your gear store.
There you go. Yeah, man, definitely. We were out scouting for turkeys, and we actually had an owl set up right next to the field that we were scouting, and so we didn't even have to owl hoot the whole morning. We had an owl just sitting there firing off, and all the turkeys were just going nuts all around us. It was awesome.
Yeah.
When you don't have to use a hoot call, it's ideal.
That's right. That's right,
Yeah.
man. Well, Brayden,
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking time to lay out some of the cool stuff that's happened over at GoWild, and keep up the good work.
Yeah, man, definitely. We'll do it, and definitely appreciate you and your followers' support through it all and all the feedback we can get. So let us know how we're doing. If you all have any ideas or can think of a way that we can better serve you guys, definitely let us know, and we'll try to make it happen.
You bet. That sounds like a good plan. Good plan.
Right on.
All right.
Awesome.
Keep at it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Talk to you later. Thanks. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Brayden Ware from GoWild. And that leads me into the last topic that I wanted to talk to you about, and talk to you about why we do what we do here at Houndsman XP. The mission has always been to make hunting with hounds mainstream. And you've heard me say that before, but I want to kind of explain that to you, what I'm talking about when I do make that statement. A few weeks ago, we had Tracy Jones on the podcast, and he talked about hiding and how houndsmen should not be hiding what they're doing. And I agree with that 100%, and that's why I created a podcast. What we do as houndsmen matters. We contribute to wildlife management. We contribute to hunting. We contribute to even the people that just want to go out and look at wildlife. We contribute to that. So we're a huge contributor to that, but nobody was ever talking about that. Nobody was diving into that and peeling back the layers on that onion and showing and explaining why we are valuable. As houndsmen, we were letting other people define who we were and talk about what we did instead of telling our own story. So that's why you would hear comments from wildlife managers that said, oh, houndsmen, they do this, this, and this, even though they'd never been hunting before. Or you heard other hunters talk about how hunting with hounds was not fair chase. It's because they never heard the real message. They never heard the real story behind who houndsmen are and what we're actually out there doing. And I can't tell you the number of people that I've taken hound hunting, on a hunting trip with the hounds or the terriers or whatever, and that had never experienced it before. The first time hunters that walked away from that and didn't say, man, I had no idea. I had no idea that's what it was all about. And so we wanted to create a show that showcased all the awesome work that all of you are out there doing all of the time. The lifestyle, this isn't bow hunting or this isn't long range rifle shooting where, you can put the gun in the safe for a week or two and take a break from it. If I go on vacation, I got to get Joe the neighbor to come down here and feed hounds and take care of hounds. And sometimes it feels like I'm a dairy farmer. It's an everyday commitment that we're married to. We really are. That's how much investment we have just in the caring for the hound. That doesn't account for the amount of money we spend, the amount of training, the expense of just keeping a hound. That's all stuff that you all know. I know that. But I wanted to get that story out to the bigger hunting community that we've got a lot invested in this. And it's not just what you were told or what you've heard or the opinion that you've developed on your own from Facebook or wherever. So that's why we do what we do. But hiding from that is not the answer. When we started creating groups and different things on social media, we actually got pushback. And it's like, I can remember a phone call I had when we started talking about side hounds. I got a phone call from some people that said, hey, we really don't want Seth talking about this stuff, because if you guys start talking about it, people are going to start looking at us and they're going to, maybe start attacking us. Well, the best way to stand up to that is to take control of that narrative, get it out in front of people, and you tell the story. Don't let people tell it for you. If you're not telling your story, somebody else is going to tell it for you. And we see that all the time in our news media and different things. So as a brand of Houndsman XP, we wanted to tell your story and talk to the world about what we do and the value we add. If you like driving through a national forest and looking at wildlife, you should be thanking a houndsman for taking that role in predator control and contributing to the wildlife management picture that professionals depend on to manage the other species of wildlife. So when I say mainstream, when we're trying to get this in mainstream, there had to be a voice that came to the front to be able to talk about these issues. And that's why we do what we do. So what kind of impact have we actually had? Well, you just heard from Brayden Ware from GoWild, and this was a group of hunters that you heard Brayden say it. They didn't grow up with dogs. They didn't have experience with hounds, things like that. But yet you expose them to it and you tell them the real story about it, and they embraced it. And they brought us into the fold, and not only brought us in and said, yeah, we'll give you this little spot over here. You guys go over here and talk about your little dog stuff. But that we're deer hunters or we're turkey hunters or whatever. They're creating mainstream big pursuits. There's only 4 pursuits on GoWild that I saw when I was in the app, and that's turkey hunting, deer hunting, bass fishing, and houndsmen. That's huge. I'm just telling you right now, that's huge. And they're to be applauded for being open-minded about it and being willing to see the value in it. And it's pretty epic. It really is, to think that I know these guys personally. Brad Luttrell and Derek Tolles came down and we stayed together in a cabin and hunted together. I've eaten lunch. And when I go through Louisville, I stop and eat lunch with Brayden Ware and Jacob and Dan and the team. And they're totally legit, and they see the value in it. And that's what we need to be trying to accomplish all over the place. And not only there, but, the work that I see groups like Wisconsin Bear Hunters, UP Bear Houndsmen, Michigan Hunting Dog, Michigan Bear Hunters Association, all of these groups, you are doing things the right way. So I want to tell the story of those groups so that if you're in a state that doesn't have a strong hound organization, you understand how to build that and how to make that impact, like Michigan, like Wisconsin, all those groups that are out there getting it done right. Corey Huntsman was on the podcast a few weeks ago with Utah Houndsman Association. They raised a bunch of money to fight issues and to stand up and represent houndsmen. Indiana needs to know how to do that. Ohio needs to know how to do that. It's all stuff that is applicable to you. If you enjoy running coon hounds and even competing with a coon hound in the state of Indiana, Ohio, these Midwestern states, you've got to get involved. It's not just about the next entry. It's not just about the next event you've got coming up. They're coming after you too. And I see it. I see it in tethering bills. I see it in the way you keep your hounds, the animal welfare bills. Those are all aimed at stopping you from hunting. So that's why we wanted to make this mainstream. That's what I mean. So that's a little soapbox moment there. I think it's important that we stay focused on that. You understand what motivates me to push the record button on this thing and talk to you every week. That's it. That's what it is. I want to ensure that we have the freedom. I'm a big proponent of individual freedoms. And you, in this country, we're supposed to have them. I want to make sure we keep them. So this is the part where I'm going to ask you for some help. And don't turn it off. I want to ask you for some help. We did an inquiry with United Kennel Club. They're the largest hound registry in the world. And we got some raw data back from them. These aren't exact numbers. It may be plus or minus a few 10,000, whatever it is. But according to UKC, there are approximately 200,000 hound owners in the United States. My question is, where are you at? Where are you? If you enjoy hounds for their intended purpose, where are you? We need your support. We need you coming to the forefront and getting involved and making sure that we get to enjoy these hounds for years to come. We're not even tapping into the power that we have as houndsmen. So this is, if you're listening to this, you've already got it. I know that. I know you've already got it. What I need for you to do is to invite your friends to come and listen to this podcast, to get involved in the Houndsman Association, to join us on Patreon and get a Sportsman's Alliance membership out of it. We are not being represented at the level that we need to be if we want to make an impact, if we want to make a difference. And you, as the faithful listener of this podcast, has the ability to introduce this podcast to a friend that you know that hunts with hounds. You have that ability to do that, and I'm asking you to do that. So the next time you're in the truck with this buddy of yours that you know probably doesn't listen to the Houndsman XP podcast, just turn it on. You're out looking for tracks. You're driving to the next event. Just turn on the podcast, let them listen to it, and then show them how they can download and subscribe the podcast and start supporting the lifestyle that they love so much. It's as easy as that. Guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. Thanks for tuning in to the Houndsman XP podcast. This is Fair Chase.